Hello there. In this class, we are going to see something about agent environment. In our previous classes, which are two, we have discussed something about history of AI, then basic idea of an agent. Now, in this class, we are going to see something agent environment in AI. What is an agent environment? An environment is everything in this world or in the world which is surrounded by agent. The environment is nothing but the world which is surrounded by agent, but it's not part of it. Agent is not part of it. For an example, this is our environment. Agent live inside that environment. This whole part is the environment of an agent, but it is not part of it. For an example, you are in home. Home is your environment, which each and part of that house belongs to you, and you are part of that environment which can able to perform the different tasks in your home. We call you as an agent. If X is in home, X is in this home becomes an environment for him, and he is the part of an environment, and it can able to perform all the tasks which are related to that environment, the X. An environment can be described situation in which the agent is present. The environment is where the agent lives, operate and provide, which is something to sense and act upon it. This is what the environment of an agent is. Future of environment, as per Russell and Norvig, an environment can have various futures from the point of view of an agent. They are divided into 8 parts. One is fully observed, other one is partially observed, static and dynamic, discrete, continuous, deterministic, stochastic, single agent, multiple agent, episodic, sequential, known, unknown, accessible, inaccessible. We are going to see all in detail. Now the first one is fully observed and partially observed. If an agent sensor, we have seen as percepts, or we call it as a sensor, which can able to access the complete information of that surrounding, we call it as a fully observed. If that agent cannot able to access the fully environment, we call it as a partial. So if this is an environment, and if this is an agent which can able to access all the information about it, observe all the information about this, we call it as a fully observed. And if the agent is able to observe only half of it or little bit, we call it as a partial. For example, we have a chess game. That chess, we have all the information available, and an agent can able to observe all the information available to it. It is fully observed. Whereas in partial observed, we have got playing card, which is nothing but we can able to observe only partial environment. A fully observed environment easy, as there is no need to maintain the internal state and keep track of the history. Whereas the agent which no sensor in all the environment, then such environment are unobservable. Means if there is no sensor, if there is nobody is able to observe this environment, or nobody can able to sense this environment, we can call it as unobservable environment. So we have got fully observed, which can able to observe full environment. Then we have got partial environment, which can able to observe partial environment, and we have unobservable environment which cannot be observed. For fully observed, we take an example for a chess. For partial, we take as playing card. For unobservable, it's nothing. We cannot able to observe that environment. First part. Now second part is deterministic and stochastic algorithm. If the agent current state is selected, and the select action can be completed and determine the next state of the environment, then such environment is called deterministic environment. And in stochastic environment, a random in nature and cannot be determined completely by the agent. In deterministic algorithm, what will happen is that the current state and the previous state will able to determine what is the next step it's going to happen. For an example, We play this game, TikTok, right? I put a card here, then one more person put this one, then I put a card here, then other person will put a card here, then this person will put a card here, then other person will put a card here. So what is that? A agent current state and the selection and action can be completely determined in the next state of environment. Such environment are called deterministic environment. In this environment, I am going to observe what is the next state of it with the help of this one. In stochastic environment, a random environment, like playing Ludo. So we cannot able to determine what will be my next step. It's just I am playing I am just throwing a coin, and I able to get that one. Whereas in deterministic, I can able to determine what will be my next step based on this one. The best example is this game which we played. Next one, episodic and sequential. In an episodic environment, the series of one-shot action and only the current percept is required for the action. However, in sequential environment, an agent required memory of past action to determine the next action to be performed. What happened in sequential environment, an agent required memory as well as and the past action to determine, whereas in episodic environment there is a series of one-shot action that only current percept is required for this one. Like we are playing tennis or rugby, where only one action is required, and based on that one we can able to do the action. Whereas sequential environment, agent required memory of past action, like chess. If you play chess, we need to have a past history, we have a memory where we can able to proceed to the next step. Whereas in episodic, we just have to take one shot of an action based on what the situation comes up. This is what episodic and sequential. The next one is single agent and multiple agent. If one agent is involved in an environment and operated by itself, then such environment is called a single agent. However, in multiple agent and operator is operated in an environment, then such environment is called multi-agent. For example, you play chess with two players, only one at a time. Only one agent is required to play this one. Whereas in multiple operation, multiple agents are required. That is called marketing or teleoperators. The agent design problem in multiple agent environment are different from the single agent environment. Yes, the agent which are designed the problem in multiple agent are totally different from the single agent environment. The fourth one is static and dynamic. If the environment can change itself while an agent is deliberating, then such environment are called dynamic environment, else it is called statics. Static environment are easy to deal because an agent does not need to continue looking for the world around it, whereas in dynamic it has to change. However, dynamic environment agent need to keep looking for the environment where it is going on. So in static, we call it as let's take an example. Dynamic, I can go for it is driving car. So this example goes for driving car. So in driving car, I keep track of all the environment, and the environment changes, like driving a car, speed breakers and everything comes up and everything that is there. Whereas in dynamic, it's nothing is going to change it. Like you are playing a game called crossboard, where it is not going to change it. So in statics, the situation and the environment will not change. For a crossboard, no environment is changed, nothing has been changed. Whereas in dynamic, the environment changes. However, in dynamic environment, agent need to keep looking for the word each and around section. Whereas in dynamic, it has to keep looking for the word and each action which is going to perform. Whereas in static, it does not need any information to keep track of it, and the environment goes on changing in dynamic. Whereas static, the environment will not change it. Then sixth point is discrete and continuous. If the environment If the environment, there are finite number of percepts and actions that can be performed within it, such environment are called discrete environment, otherwise else it is called continuous environment. The chess game comes under discrete environment. Why? Because we have to perform n number of state to get to the goal state. A self-driving is called continuous environment, where it is goes on changing the state of state. Correct? Goes on changes the state. Whereas in discrete, step-by-step process are going on. Step-by-step process are going to reach to goal. And chess game comes under discrete environment, as there is a finite number of moves that can be performed. A self-driving example is for continuous. A seventh one is known and unknown. Known and unknown are not actually the future. It's something like that. We have a known environment, known environment, and other one is unknown environment. Known environment, unknown environment. Known environment, known and unknown, actually the future of environment, but the agent state is knowledge. The agent states the knowledge of performing the action. Means if the agent knows the environment, that it can able to perform the action. If the agent does not know the environment, it cannot able to perform the action. The known environment, the result of all action are known to the agent, while the unknown environment, the agent need to learn how it works and in order to perform the action. In this world, a known agent is nothing but real world, correct, which can able to perform all the action. Because if you know the environment of your home or something like that, if an agent knows the environment of a home, it can able to perform all the actions which are related to it. Whereas unknown is like nothing but game, playing games. We don't know what are the actions, what are the things which we need to perform it. We need to, while unknown environment, agent need to learn. In the game, we need to learn the parts, then we need to perform the action what is going to take it. This is a part of an unknown agent. Then the eighth one is accessible, inaccessible. If an agent can obtain complete and accurate information about the state environment, then such environment are called accessible environment. It is called, otherwise it is called inaccessible. An empty room whose state can be defined by its temperature is called an accessible environment. Information about an agent on Earth is an example of inaccessible environment. So accessible environment is not something we know it. We know all the environment, each and every part of the environment. Agent can obtain the complete and accurate information about the environment. We call it accessible. Whereas if we don't know the information about that environment, we call it as an inaccessible. The example which is defined here is the temperature in the room. If we know the room and everything, we can able to tell this is what the temperature or something like that. In other words, if something goes beyond our limit, like in other part of the world, like other state or something like that, which is inaccessible, we call it as an inaccessible environment. So in this class, we have discussed some features of an agent. In the previous class, we have discussed about agent. In that previous class, we have discussed about history. Thank you very much.